I'm Mattia Mor. This is 10 Minutes to Inspire. We're here today at the 10 Minutes to Inspire, a podcast by Emotion Network with Moran Atias. So welcome, Moran, an actress, a friend. And an honor to have you here today. So
thank you for
thanks for coming and stay with us. So, with this podcast, we want to inspire people. We want to use the stories of people to inspire others. So, if I have to start, I would like to ask you, what is the endeavor that best defines who you are in life?
Choosing the endeavor is probably the hardest thing for me because, to me, I like to feel complete by doing several things.
Yeah.
But in the world of in my beautiful pie, there's my acting. That is my craft that I work on all the time, and I'm curious to improve myself. There's my family that I take time to get to know who they are, my parents, and then there's the family that I created, which is probably the endeavor I'm most proud of becoming a mother. Becoming a mother to a daughter on my own was probably the most proud endeavor I've taken in my life.
I can imagine it's a big endeavor, actually,
and it's the best one.
And with this podcast, we want to inspire people. So, in your life, who or what has been inspiration for you?
Every day I get inspired. I'm surrounded by inspiration because I'm a constant student. So it could be I get inspired by someone on the flight that inspired me, actually. Obviously, my family, people from the history. But I think it's probably the source of my inspiration is truly my family. Going back to my roots, understanding where my family came from, the story of my grandmother, what she had to achieve and how she became a mother of 7 children and what values she gave for her family. The stories of the women in my family are probably the most inspiring to me because I also know them.
Yeah.
The other people that I can be inspired by is by a specific work, a piece of art they did. Like the other day, I was in New York and I saw the picture of Dorian Gray, and Sarah Snook inspired me.
Yeah.
And
Imagine.
yeah, she was incredible. So every day I get inspired. And probably the source of all the inspirations is from the book of all books, the Bible.
Okay.
That's probably the literature that inspires me the most because I remember growing up as a little girl, I would wait for my grandfather to come back from the temple every Shabbat. And I would sneak in to have a seat next to him. And I would wait to hear the story of the week, the parasha. Because that story always told you something about a human being, but a challenge he had to overcome and what the cost was. So there was always a teaching, always a lesson. So I always felt that I can learn from that. And that has been actually my source of creation, the person that guides me. He's no longer with us, but he's been my angel till now.
That's what deeply in the root of all of us. That kind of part of family is inspiring us all today. So we're talking about ecosystem and the power of ecosystem as a way to have an impact on society and the world. How do you think that your role in your ecosystem can have a positive impact on society?
So there's a beautiful saying in Italian says that meglio soli che male accompagnati, which means better alone than in bad company. But the positive of that is great together in good company. So I have the company of women. And I'll just share one particular woman that actually changed my life. I went to a dinner in Los Angeles, a women empowerment dinner, celebrating women, successful women, beautiful women that do great work in their craft and also humanitarian work. And after an hour of talking about women and what women can do, I got a little bored and I said, maybe we wouldn't mind to have a man around, just as a joke. But, there's truth to that joke as well. And the woman next to me, who was a stunning, beautiful, successful woman, said, yeah, me too. I already had kids on my own. I'm ready to meet a man. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean you had kids on your own? She said, I'm single. I didn't have a partner and I decided to have children on my own. Now, this is the first time I even heard that term. How can you have children on your own? I never heard that. And she said, well, I did it with a sperm donor. And I just looked at her and all of a sudden this image of a woman in need, that gets to an age when you're still single, when you're in later age, that you feel so ashamed to be part of, now looks like this, beautiful, stunning, and successful. Tosca Musk, who's also the sister of Elon Musk. And then she told me, and I thought like, well, maybe, we come from different backgrounds. Maybe my family's very traditional. I don't know if they would even know what this means. He said, my family is very important for me too. And in fact, before I made up my mind, we went to Burning Man, the whole family together, which I think is really cool. I had a conversation with my family on Shabbat. So
in a different way.
Like hers is cool,
way.
right? And she asked them what did they think about that choice? And they were all very supportive. And I remember I could see that image of a strong woman, independent woman being so vulnerable and asking her family for their support in this choice. And I just thought, wow, that's an option. She just opened the door, and she was very generous. And she told me if I ever needed advice, I would contact her, and I did. And she helped me through the process and guided me through. And thanks to Tosca Mas, I am a mother on my own.
That's a good
and
story.
That's the ecosystem that I had. She had the conversation. What happens is that we don't have this conversation like this one because it's uncomfortable. There's a lot of shame of being single. In your 20s, you're single. Okay, cool. In your 30s, you're single. Like, well, what's wrong, honey? And then in your 40s, something's wrong. Like, that's a fact. And you carry that shame, and shame silences you, and shame paralyzes you, and shame likes you to be secret, and shame likes you to be quiet. Until you take the courage and understand that shame dies when you talk, when you have this conversation. And that's why I'm having this conversation today, because if I could inspire even one person, one mother, one father, and also there's a lot of men out there, they didn't find the right partner. And they ask themselves, what can I do if I want to become a parent? Well, there's options. You don't have to live and not live truly and fully because shame is suffocating you, and the environment you grew up is not the family you're about to create. So
this could be a big source of inspiration for many people listening to you, because it's a topic not enough talked about, and it's really important to take to a broader public as possible.
Yeah, and also just even freezing your eggs, freezing your sperm, the technology that is out there that can help me to help secure, because then there's also the divine, right? To help me secure a future, a family, is the most powerful thing you can have. And not taking advantage of that technology actually robs you of your potential as a human.
Yeah,
and
of course.
don't be robbed by time,
In the business world, but also as an artist and in many different sectors, we talk a lot about failures, and everyone has failures and difficulties. So which are the difficulties and the failures that has shaped you the most?
Wow. Well, I felt like a failure not fulfilling the family ideal for a while. That really suffocated me. I felt like I wasn't worthy. I was doing something wrong. It's my fault. I'm not good enough. Oh, again, I ruined it. It's all my fault. All these things. So that really paralyzed me for 3 years. I didn't know what to do. So I think shame is the most difficult feeling that if we're talking about emotion, the most difficult emotion to then process and say to yourself, shame is not the truth.
Yeah.
Shame is not the truth. And therapy helps. To have those questions, these honest questions, like, do I want to become a mother? Do I want to be married? Maybe I don't.
Yeah,
is that okay, Mom?
And is
that better? Many people come to me and it's like, you're a genius. You figured it out. Or you're brave. So many people. And I have to say that when I shared this story, this choice, because everybody's going to ask me, who's the father? Who's the father? Everybody knows. And, the joke was like the divine, at a certain point, I was like, okay, I want to tell you, it is a sperm donor, because there's something empowering about that. And it's not a donor. It's not a donation. Nothing was given in beneficenza. I paid for it. I bought it. I own it. The man was paid.
It's tragedy in some way. It's in society there is more shame to say this instead of saying, it's just a one night love that it happened to have a pregnancy. In that case, both can happen. But this is a choice you did,
And a lot of times there's like, oops,
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm very proud that my daughter knows she's wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted her. I wanted a daughter.
That's so much important.
I wanted a daughter. She's welcomed with love in my life. I know it's a miracle as well
So, and
to have her.
if you meet yourself at 18, which advice would you give yourself?
Oh, that's so cute. A hug. I think a hug solves so much. Sometimes words are unnecessary. You just need that hug and need to be held. Because I feel like I have the answers. I empower also other people. Like a lot of people come to advice for me, whether it's for my family, and I bring back the question to them because the answer is within yourself. Sometimes you just need a hug. So I will hug that 18-year-old girl.
It's even more powerful. No, so we are getting to the end of our podcast, but 10 minutes is not enough. But as Emotion Network, we talk about emotions a lot. Which is the emotion that drives your life?
The joy of living, this excitement of life, like passion, these things that, are, by the way, within me. I feel like I was born with that positive, happy energy that loves life. I love life. I love people. The operative word for me is love. I say love all the time. Yeah. I tell people I love them and they're like, you don't know me. I'm like, yeah, but
right. Well,
but then I know them. I'm like, you're right. I don't love you. No, I'm kidding. But I think that's the joy of life, joie de vivre.
Thank you so much, Moran Atias, in 10 Minutes to Inspire, a podcast by Emotion Network. Really thank you to be here with us today.
Thank you.